ジタバタせずにコーヒーでも入れよう。
Ah, sorry. You had to see my hideous visage and not hear my voice. Welcome to Coffee and Kaiju, March 2025, catching up. And who is with me today? Today we have Mr. Fresh Vinyl himself. Hello, Mr. Fresh Vinyl.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for having me back again.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Let's get fresh.
And it couldn't be Coffee and Kaiju without Mike. How's it going,
Hey, what's
Mike?
going on? Good morning.
Good morning. And special guest star, Nev. Nev's here. Hi, Nev. How's everybody doing? Good? Okay, good.
We are good.
Good.
Rock
Oh, look, we got
and roll.
people. Penzilla04, thanks for joining. Tyler Anderson, thanks for joining. Ray2D2, thanks for joining. Rado, thanks for joining. Jedi Grandvel, thanks for joining. Oh, God. Frail Gator. If I messed that up, I apologize. Thanks. All right, there's too many people joining. John, Tyler, thanks for joining. Hi. So we haven't done this in a while, so forgive any technical snafus on my part. But we're going to get through it together, I can tell. So we just figured we'd catch up. If there's any interesting news that we can talk about, some new purchases that we may have gotten. And, maybe we'll throw it out there. Sven Gulli last night showed Monster Zero on their primetime broadcast, which is cool. They haven't shown that one very often. I think this might have been the second or third time they've ever shown that one. So that was cool that they did something a little different. So I figured we could talk about like our comfort kaiju movies. So think of those, audience. And when we get to that, we'll shout out some of your favorite kaiju. It doesn't even have to be Godzilla related, just any kind of kaiju tokusatsu that's like a go-to comfort when you just need to have something on to wind down type movie. But first, and Rich, I know you're the one to do it, so I'm going to put you on solo, and we'll get going with some new purchases, and you can kick it off with that.
All right. Good morning, everybody. All right, so new purchases. It's been, 5-6 months that we did this last Coffee and Kaiju. It's not as much as I thought, but so over here, we got pretty much all the newest Bandai figures that have come out, at least that I picked up from Bagan, however you pronounce it. I picked up the Gemstone Megalon, which was pretty dope. I got the Geno or Zilla from Final Wars, and then the Godzilla 98. Picked that up, which honestly, I dig them both. It's pretty cool to say that I have a 98 Godzilla in my collection again after I smashed one like 10 years ago on the channel from Treadmasters, but that's old news. Shin Godzilla and the Flying Mecha Godzilla. I forgot the Cybot. I bought those when I was in Japan at the Shinjuku Godzilla store. The Cybot's pretty damn cool, not going to lie. That's pretty neat. And whoever thought we were actually going to get a Cybot figure, let alone from Bandai and X Plus, which is up here somewhere. Like I've been recollecting the Bandai figures, I've recently picked up a Movie Monster series, original Anguirus 68. It's the third time it was reissued. But this one has the best paint job of all the 6-inch figures. Haven't seen only seen pictures of that Dream 5 project, whatever they're calling it. Dream? I can't remember. The one that has the new Anguirus Mechagodzilla Gabber in it. We should have that from the Godzilla store.
Set,
yeah, the box set. So we should be getting that, I think in April was the email we got from the Godzilla store for those that pre-ordered it. Also recently picked up the Voxel Wars. I'm just going to, all right, I got them free to knock anything over. Voxel Wars, Godzilla -1, red translucent with black highlights. This thing's pretty dope. Not really familiar with the game, but you could pre-order it from the Godzilla store in Japan, and you would get I think it's a Nintendo Switch game. So red and black are my favorite colors. So I was like, I had to have this one. Boom. I'm gonna put them out of the way now. Recent release of the X Plus 25 centimeter Godzilla 74. This thing is fucking awesome. Like, it literally captures everything that looks awesome about the suit. So dig it. Yeah, great angle right there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and then we got a fake Godzilla coming, so that's pretty sweet. Little Godzilla, my sister calls him Hendrik because he looks like Hendrik. I don't know who Hendrik is, but that's what he looks like. Godzilla 94. Yeah, so that's all the Bandai stuff. Short little story. When I was literally boarding my plane to go to Japan, is when the pre-order went up for the Mondo Octil UFO Goji. Literally boarding a 787 as I was click pre-order. So I guess this was technically my first Japan buy for that trip. And then I picked up the Decon red and black exclusive. It's supposed to look like an Exilian because their suits were silver black with red accents. Both of these are fucking awesome. And if you haven't got one, you got to get one. There's like 6 or 7 variants out right now. There's like a cherry blossom one recently. There's a retro style and a few others that I don't remember off the top of my head, but unique, awesome. Like, when we think Sofubi, I feel like this hits the mark right on the freaking dot. And lastly, the stinkiest trio that I have. These things are Mondo, also Decon exclusive Gabra, Godzilla, and Minya. So all monsters attack. Yeah, Godzilla's Revenge. It literally smells like a skunk sprayed them. They stink almost 5 months after. But aside from the smell, they look freaking awesome. The glitter is like on point. Great paint job, great sculpts. Minya doofy as ever. And then the last things that I picked also from the Godzilla store is a 70th anniversary pin and some G-Force patches because I'm going to put them on my motorcycle jacket because I'm a little big badass biker. Room. I'm not really going to put them on my motorcycle jacket. And that's not going to happen. But that's it. That's pretty much all that I've picked up, not including pre-orders.
Nice. I actually am kind of kicking myself on the saucers. I should have grabbed one. I probably will end up grabbing one of them.
Do it. Dude, your collection is screaming for one.
I know. I keep seeing an advertisement on Facebook for some 3D printing company that's doing have you seen this ad? It's got to be a straight bootleg of the Mondo one because I haven't seen how big it is compared to this, but it looks like an exact scan of that Mondo one. And I'm like, I'm amazed that they're advertising this because that thing just can't. It's not like it's a 10-year-old figure. It's like printed.
It's old.
So, yeah, I know it's crazy. So,
from a tattoo concept by Octil too. So,
yeah, it's super cool. How about you, Mike? Anything? I know you've probably got a few new Bandais.
Not really all that much. I mean, like you guys know, and most people do know because I posted about it. I was out of work for literally a week after our last stream up until about 4 weeks ago. So I really haven't gotten much. Anything I did get, I had bought before any of that happened. Really, the only significant thing is the one thing that Rich didn't mention, actually, is the dancing Bandai.
Yeah.
And I can hold it a little bit closer to the camera, so at least you can, there you go. I think it's really cool. It's honestly the only thing I've gotten so far this year because obviously we're waiting on other stuff.
Yeah. I actually like that a lot too.
Delays. I like it. I like it comes off the rock. It goes right back on nice and easy.
Yep.
And it's just, you could tell they used the Memorial Box 1 as a base, but they changed it up just enough. I love the tag too, because it's the like the dynamic posing subline they're doing now. So the tag is a little bit more dynamic, kind of classy. I like it. There goes the rock.
Yeah.
So yeah. The one thing I really wanted to get wasn't even a toy, and it just came out at the absolute worst time. Was the 4K box set Toho was doing. because, you know, in their infinite wisdom, they're not releasing them individually anymore. They're putting them in a big box set. Godzilla Raids Again, the 270s Mechagodzilla films, 84, Heisei Mechagodzilla, and Final Wars coming out in June. About $400, and the pre-order period ended at the end of January, so that wasn't going to happen for me. So more than any toy that I haven't been able to get, that's kind of killing me because I really wanted those, and there's been no indication that those are going to come out separately. I kind of hope they do, but I don't know. $400 for a 4K DVD disc set seemed like a lot, so I just didn't do it. But yeah, that's really, I haven't done much. Hopefully, as the year goes on, I can, you know, maybe buy more. It just depends on my finances right now. It's just been a rough 6 months, but things will get better. Things will get better. Got the Flying Mechagodzilla, since I can get, like I said, I can get a little closer to the camera.
Hey, hang on, I'm going to put you back because I actually want to see that because I didn't get that one either, and that's another one where I'm like,
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It looks exactly like the one in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Any kind of flight stand, or is it just that?
No, it's just that. But
Oh.
Rich figured out you could use like the Tamashi plastic stands
Oh yeah, you can buy
with those action figures, and
yeah,
I tried doing that, but I didn't quite like how it looked. But I didn't really play around with it very much. And the 84, the Saibot.
Yeah.
oh,
There you go.
All right, nice.
Of course, Bandai did do one in 84, but that thing is so old and so vintage, does it even count at this
Oh
point?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't even really look like the. It
Looks
doesn't
more
look
like
like
a
the
mini
actual-
Imperial.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the Zilla,
Yeah.
which that was a long road. That thing was like July. It came out in like October.
Yeah, I got the
Pretty much
Zilla
what's
as
going.
well.
That's pretty much what's going on with the Dream 5 box now.
Yeah.
Same kind of delay. Yeah, but
Yes,
that's it.
and you pre-ordered that box set, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got mine from Japan. I just bought it from the Godzilla store in Japan, and I have it. I wasn't.
Oh, you
gonna-
do have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so can you show it off?
I can get it. Yeah, I gotta get off my ass. But yeah, I mean, I got it like not too long after I pre-ordered because I knew it's weird because some of the Godzilla store in Japan you can get certain through Buy E, but some things you
Yep.
can't. Like for example, you can't get the '98 Godzilla for whatever fucking reason, but you can
That's
buy.
not
Like,
coming to the U.S. store. I think there's a licensing thing now.
it's got to be, but it's weird because like you can't even get like the -1 like curling tail pose. You can't get that, which you think you'd be able to. But you can get the Cherry Blossom -1, the smaller 5-inch one. It it makes no sense how they do it. So
Interesting. Well, you know what? I was going to let you go next, Nev, but I'm going to go
yeah,
next.
I got that.
You can get up and get that box set so we can look at it.
All right, I'll go get the box.
I want to see that thing.
Like I say, the thing with the box set that made the U.S. site enticing is they offered it with free shipping.
Yeah. I didn't pre-order it, so I'm curious to see what it looks like. And Mike, I was actually going to offer you up when you got it. If I was going to send you a shipping label on a box, and if you would ship it to me so I could review it, and then I would ship it back to you. But we can talk about that off the air.
Yeah, well, whenever that thing finally comes in.
Whenever.
And then there's that blue King Ghidorah, the premium one, which
Yeah.
I don't think I actually want. So you were talking about wanting that. So who knows?
Yeah,
unless you've actually found a way to get it.
No. So nobody mentioned this yet, but this just came. I'm going to say Wednesday. I think I got this.
I went looking for that at Barnes and Noble because I had a gift card, but they didn't have the 4K version. But cool.
Yeah, well, I still need to buy a 4K player, but I have it now. But it's nice. 2 discs. Comes with like a poster that I would never display, but because I'm not going to ruin my box set. But comes with that.
Oh wow!
Nice. Yeah, nice little piece of art. If I could get that just as a print, but I'm not going to take it out of my DVD or my Blu-ray. And
it's a lot to read back there.
And then dude, it's basically like an entire synopsis of the movie. So if you don't want to watch the movie, you can just read that paragraph. So I got that. Also, like you, I did get the Jumping Godzilla, which is topical because, like I said, they showed this last night on Svengoolie.
Was it dubbed?
Cool. Yeah, it was the dubbed version. And then Rich, mine don't smell. But mine aren't the glitter. But
That's good.
yeah, mine smell
reeks.
normal.
Because
mine
I'm pretty
reeks.
sure every time I sniff mine, I killed more brain cells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, mine smell perfectly.
It's probably the
Totally normal.
material the glitter ones are made of.
That's what I
Glittery,
wondered, yeah.
translucent stuff tends to stink more.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like for my money,
Final part.
this is the best Gabra figure. I mean, the X Plus one's obviously super awesome, but for a
This.
Sofubi standpoint, like this is ridiculously good.
That, honestly, Brian, that one nails the character even more than the X
Yeah.
Plus one does.
It's
As
so
much
good.
as the X Plus one is really accurate, that one, this one has more character to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Mondo, what they're doing is just nuts, man. Like they just everything they do is just so good. And it's not even just their kaiju stuff. Like Nev,
Have you seen some of the Ninja Turtle things they're
Yeah.
doing, Brian? Like
Ninja Turtles, I got all of them.
Wingnut and Skrillex and
just-
Ray Fillet.
Yeah, we're just gonna do they just announced the other day at WonderCon or whatever, they're doing the Alien Kenner figures too.
They're doing a super shredder.
I just ordered that one.
And then I picked this up at Michael's, the hobby shop. I was there with my daughter. And it's just, and the only reason I picked it up is because it's just mini posters. But they're like they're perforated and they're perfectly sized to put in a frame, and just literally you could just do a wall of it's got every poster.
Brian, where does it stop? Does it stop with Godzilla versus Mothra? I'm curious because my daughter has a calendar made by the same company, and it stops at Godzilla versus Mothra. No movies after that on the calendar.
Which is fine, because honestly, I would probably stop. My plan is to do them all. I probably would stop at either Return of Godzilla or just stick strictly to Showa. You know what I mean? But it's weird because it doesn't have the Mecha Godzilla Showa movies.
No, it probably has the exact same movies in the calendar Helena got.
Yeah,
I remember flipping through it. It stopped at Mothra, and I was like, okay, I guess nothing exists after 1992.
But I was like, I'll just buy a bunch of cheap frames, and I can put these around my bar. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it was like $8 or $10 or something. So, something cool. But back to Mondo. Like, I just saw yesterday it popped up that they're doing a Doctor Doom Sofubi figure. Have you seen that one?
They did Juggernaut too.
Dude, their stuff's just incredible. But their turtles,
the turtles are awesome.
And they're not very expensive. Like,
they're huge.
Yeah,
they're huge,
and they're like half the price of their Godzilla stuff.
With Godzilla, probably the license.
Yeah,
yeah, probably. It's a lot of the same sculptors working on all throughout the lines.
Yeah, it's James. James Groman does most of the Mondo sculpting. Godzilla stuff. I think he only did the big, like the one he's like all corpsed out. I think that's the only Godzilla one he did from.
Yeah. This is a Mondo question. The Hedorah set. I saw it as just. I don't think it's a set. I think they're selling a Hedorah and anybody can correct me if they're wrong.
Buy both separately. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can buy it separately?
I thought you could. Was I wrong?
I only saw the Hedorah first, and then I saw the Godzilla later. So I don't know if they're boxing them together.
Or I'm pretty sure it's
yeah, I don't know.
I cast either way, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you. All right, Nev, let's see what you've gotten lately.
Well, I'll just show the box because you guys are turning over the box like this. It's a big box.
I love the box.
Yeah, the box is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's wraparound too, which is kind of nice. It says 24 edition on the back, blank bottom. This is kind of cool. It says the dreams and like the font or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I think this is the winner of this whole. It's Macris.
Yep.
That is so
figure.
So that's nice.
Cool. And it's nice too because the antennae are actually in the mold, kind of. I don't see. I mean, they're kind of in there really well, but it doesn't seem like they're a snap off.
I'm telling you, they're gonna if they do re-release these tagged, that figure's getting fucked in shipping.
Oh, yeah, it's not great. Here's a Mechagodzilla. It's Mechagodzilla. We have about 100 of these.
I like that one. People were really hard on that, but I think that looks really cool.
The paint's actually brighter, I think.
Pre-battle.
It's dusty.
Pre-battle.
Yeah. There's that one. Anguillus.
Now that's a new sculpt, right?
I think it's a new
Completely
sculpt.
new, or is it just a new head?
I think-
Elements of it look like the old one, but it's
Yeah.
tweaked
New
just
head.
enough.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely. A new,
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, the old one didn't have spikes on the forearm, so they definitely
yeah.
Oh yeah,
they
you're
use
right.
it. Bandai really
Yeah.
seems to have a hard on for taking older molds and like tweaking them. And I think they're doing it a lot lately. And I think that's what
Tail's
happened
different,
here.
too.
It looks a lot better either way.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this and some of the other Godzillas, they paint the teeth like stark white, like they're fucking
Yeah.
veneers. They got to do something about that. But other than that, like it's a pretty solid Anguillus. Ghidorah,
Well,
the wings are kind of jacked up, but
Yeah, that's the one that I'm like, what in the
I
hell?
mean, like the other part too, like
Because
it's really hard to pull apart the.
Yeah, the
the
necks are
head.
different heights.
You can see there's a little bit of brown on the mane.
Yeah.
The paint
Man,
job
I
looks
would've-
really good on that though.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I mean it's like if I wouldn't buy this separately, it came with the set, so like why not?
Yeah.
But the last
it's
one-
kind of hard to look at the premium one they did a few years ago, then look at that, and
Yeah.
Then last but not least, yeah,
Let me see. The face sculpt on that is
really good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. I think the head's a little weird
it
to
looks,
me.
I think his face is too small.
It's like too like he needs a sandwich. It's like too thin.
yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, like I'm just complaining to complain.
He's
So
like
the
a
only-
pinhead.
There's a seam around the stomach. Other than that,
Yeah. Actually,
think
what I do like about this one too, which I can't remember if I've seen a lot before, but there's two different arms. So one he's making a fist, the other one's open, which I thought was kind of a neat little.
they could punch
Yeah.
Minya in the face.
Yeah, exactly. So
Too bad
Yeah.
the Minya Bandai is like the exact same size, though. It's like gigantic.
yeah, that's the other thing too, like size comparison. Like here's Kamacuras and Gabra. So
Yeah.
That's a
But-
solid Kamacuras. I'm excited to see that one in person.
yeah, the Kamacuras is awesome. I wish they would have came with the set with like a Kumanga or something, because I'd buy two of them.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna eventually get a Kumonga, and if they do release them separately tagged, you can get two more Kamacuras.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got that a while ago. I was at FYE the other day, and they have a large Godzilla section now, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I scored this 54 Ben Presto, which is actually pretty nice.
That's
It's a
neat.
long suit. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a different pose I've seen for the 54, where like the tail is kind of wrapped around. I actually prefer this one more
His,
than the Bandai
his
Premium.
neck, his head is in a different
Yeah,
pose.
it's moved around a little bit. It kind of reminds me of the movie poster, like the Mega House Arts big one that they did a while back. Like I
Yeah,
said, fuck
yeah, like from the front, that looks cool.
yeah. And then
They closed my FYE, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's none around me anymore either.
last but not least of the freak shows, AliExpress for the amazing bootlegs. This I honestly, the sculpt is pretty awesome. It's supposed to be Kong, I guess, like a Kongzilla type thing.
Yeah.
There is some crazy detail in the spikes, though. I mean, like
Yeah, that looks good.
for like $10. Yeah, I'll buy that all day long.
Kongzilla.
It looks
This
like a
one,
TMNT villain.
This one's pretty awful.
His face.
This one needs some love, and the joints are terrible. But like again,
Are they 3D printed or are they like actual
It's soft
vinyl?
vinyl, man. It's Sofubi. It's
That's
soft
so
vinyl.
funny, dude. Where do you
Whatever.
find these on AliExpress?
AliExpress. I mean, like $20. I think it was like 30 shit. Like, how can you not? Like, this is great. So that's pretty
so
much
funny.
my Godzilla stuff as of late.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any noteworthy news, Mike? I mean, I know you mentioned the 4K box set. Is there any other media stuff coming out? I know we just
well,
got
we just got
yeah.
Biollante from Criterion, and Criterion's going to have to wait a while to do anything else because one, the movies have to come out on 4K in Japan first, and
Yeah.
two, they can't do anything after Godzilla versus Mothra because Sony has all that stuff. So all they can do in the next year or so is 84. And
That's what I
Toho's
think.
Probably,
Yeah.
And Toho's going to make them wait at least a year anyway. So we're not getting anything else unless Criterion starts to do 4K Showa, like individually perhaps, but they won't be able to do a box set for the exact same reason. They have to put them all out first. So nothing else coming out here, and in Japan it's just this set, and the pre-order period ended 2 months ago. So unless you ordered it, I don't really know anybody else who did. I'll have to ask, like August did it, so I'll ask him like how they look and what the special features are. That kills. It's the special features that kill me because there's some really great stuff on those other discs, and I know Rich got those discs too.
Yeah, they're
And
gorgeous.
I heard there's going to be some like behind the scenes stuff on like the 70s Mechagodzilla stuff, films we've never seen before, which that's the kind of stuff I really want to see. But I also want to see how 84 and Heisei Mechagodzilla look in 4K because I'm sure Biollante looks amazing. So it's 84 is probably going to look fantastic, and I guess we're just probably just going to have. I'm probably going to have to wait until Criterion does them because the set was just too much of an expense right now. But that's really it as far as that kind of stuff. I'm not really keeping up a lot of the merchandise. I don't even know Mondo was doing a Hedera set. I've just got a loop with that. I really just keep up with the Bandai stuff.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, Mondo really is just. I mean, and they're cranking them out. I mean, good on them. You know, 10 years ago, you would have never thought an American company would be.
I don't even know
high
what
quality stuff.
What is Bandai even doing like in the next few months? They're doing the 71 just came out, right? And
Godzilla 2000 2.0.
Godzilla 2000 2.0, and then they're doing a new Burning Godzilla, a new Destroyer, and another Kiru, which we've got like a million of those.
I was Burning 95. That's I think it has a light up too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's out now. Yeah,
too. Yeah, it's basically the exact same thing with a slightly different head sculpt, and it lights up.
Yeah,
but there's going to be a new Burning Godzilla in, I want to say May. That might be a new sculpt, but we haven't seen it yet. So, and of course, the giant condor that won the You Choose poll last November. So, that's something show we're going to get. We'll get a giant condor.
Yeah, there's also the new movie series posing Godzilla -1 that just dropped in Japan in like the last few days. And I think I saw a quick review of it. It has a very similar tag to the 65, so they're staying consistent with that posing line, it seems.
The dynamic posing figures. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with that? They could do like a sliding 73. Like, wouldn't that be really cool?
Dragon 73.
Sliding on its tail would be super cool. Yeah.
If you don't mind,
take this one.
Yeah.
And adjust the tail, hold the tail up with something, and there's your sliding 73. If they can do the 65 with a rock, they can do a sliding
73. Yeah. That'd be cool. I'd buy that.
If I can just go back to the 65 real quick. I want to say when I was in Japan, I woke up that it was Godzilla Day that it was revealed. Yeah, so fucking awesome. And I saw it, on Instagram or whatever. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And then me and my buddy, we got down to Ginza at like 9 a.m, and we were in Habib Park where Godzilla Day was. And there's vendors still setting up. So Bandai was setting up, Frog Tree was there, and whoever else was there. But I just happened, if you guys probably seen the stupid photo, it's not stupid, it's pretty fucking cool. Because I was just walking by the Bandai table as they pulled the 65 out of their box. And I mark out like a 9-year-old, on Christmas morning. And my buddy Rob was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I was like so excited. So clearly I speak fluent Japanese over to the guy that was pulling out of the box. And I'm like, can, take a picture of it. He let me take a couple pictures of it, and then he handed it to me to take a picture with me holding it. So that was like really fucking cool. Kind of to say you saw the prototype before it was released. So very exciting. Awesome figure. Can't wait
Rich,
to see
it's
more
kind
of
of
that.
funny how even after 40 years, Bandai can still do that to people. You see a new one and you freak out.
Right? It's so exciting. I just, you can't hit the nail on the head any harder than, seeing something like that in Japan on Godzilla Day when you weren't expecting it.
Seeing new Sofubi and X Plus is really cool to see. Even Monster Art stuff, new reveals are neat, but there's something about knowing a new Bandai of something you've always wanted is coming out. Any other company could do it. It's still cool. But I bought the X Plus Gabber. I made sure I got that. I have all the other Gabbers except the Mondo, but the idea of a Bandai one, that's just exciting in a way that stuff isn't, even though it's just, it's a simple little Bandai. The idea that you can say, I have a Bandai Varan or I have a Bandai Gabbera, that is just a cool, I have a Bandai Dancing 65. That is exciting. slapping the name Bandai in front of a monster that you've never had in Bandai form is still excites me the way it did in the 90s. And it's cool. It's cool they're still doing this.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with this comment because I would buy that in a second too.
Oh, in a hot minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Flying figure
With a
Hell
little
yeah.
header you
put
can
him on a
stick
cloud.
inside like a marmot.
Yeah, with a little hetero that's in his hand. Yeah.
Those are the only Para Babies I hung on to was the whole Hedera set because I had the flying Godzilla with it.
Yep.
The header,
That and the Anguilla she gave me at G Fest 2018. Those are the only I have dumped so much Sofubi over the past 6 months. I have so little left, but Bandai is still the core. That's going nowhere. And this stuff isn't either.
well, yeah, can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
We also got some answers to the Mondo question we were asking earlier. Yes, it apparently it is only a set.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. So thanks
Which
for
is
everyone.
weird because why would they make that a set, but then like the Kong and the Godzilla not a set?
I gotta Google
think
this because
those
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Godzilla
I mean,
versus
honestly, I
Hedorah
think that
Monster.
Kong and Godzilla were.
Bigger.
I feel like they were bigger because, like, if you look at this Godzilla and you look at their like Space Godzilla that they sold individually, this
Yeah,
the
they're
Space
not
Godzilla
the
is
same.
way bigger
Yeah.
and chunkier than this. So I'm gonna guess that Hedorah set's probably like in the scale of the.
I think they said it was in that scale, and I think Hedorah came with that building, which was the coolest part of that set. But
Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean,
Yeah,
they
the
also
Godzilla
changed the head too. It's more like I say for the Bandai
God damn it.
71.
Now I'm gonna have to buy it.
Like they changed enough of it. If they can do that, why can't Bandai at least change the head on their 71? Yeah, that I'm annoyed. I'm still annoyed by that.
Yeah.
I'll get it eventually, but I'm annoyed by it.
So let's talk pre-orders. Did anybody pre-order? Like I pre-ordered. Actually, I just ordered the 71 Godzilla and the Godzilla 2.0 off Hobby Search. So those are in stock as of yesterday. Are you guys getting those?
yeah, the you got
21.
2000.
Yeah, the Godzilla 2000 looks awesome. I feel like they used inspiration from clearly the suit. You know, kind of like X-Plus did last year.
Box in Japan.
I heard Wasaka helped design that,
I think he did. He posted a lot about it on his Instagram.
Yeah.
which explains a lot. I wasn't too keen on it at first, but when I saw more pictures, I realized how cool it was.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I have pre-ordered the new X Plus 54 from their smaller scale line that's coming out, which is actually I'm pretty psyched about that. Because the price first is incredible, and just something that's like a slightly different scale also is nice too. So I'm on the
like
go ahead.
Like $70, 7 inches tall. So there's the maquette with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the standard 54, and then I believe the next wave will be the 62 and 64, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I did the maquette with the woman. That's the one I
that's what I did too.
Yeah,
I forgot about the blue Ghidorah I pre-ordered too. I don't know where the fuck that's at.
You know what, Nev? I did too, but I think, like I said, Brian, once I get it, I'm just gonna sell it to him because that was like back in like June or July. That when I was a pre-order.
Yeah,
a while ago.
Rich, you know the answer to this? You use her Hobby Link, right?
I use Hobby Search. So my guess is that Hobby Search probably orders more in their figures that they could offer them. I think, what did I pre-order recently? The fake Godzilla 25 centimeter off Hobby Search. It was $20 cheaper than Hobby Link. So I think Hobby Link doesn't.
I don't think
HLJ
does a lot of bulk ordering. I see that a lot for like Ultraman shit too. They run out real quick, which means they probably don't order a lot.
Yeah, they probably not as a big warehouse and all that type of stuff. So I always recommend Hobby Search to go for, standard or anything first. I always seem to forget Hobby Search has the Bandai figures until I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. What about the well, let's go back to Mondo, the Aztec, Urban Aztec King Ghidorah.
Yeah, somebody in the comments mentioned that one a little bit ago. Yeah, I think I have that pre-order. I have to go back and look. Yeah, that thing looks cool. The Mechagodzilla. Was that the Mechagodzilla? Was that an Urban Aztec or was that just an Attack Peter?
Attack Peter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Urban Aztec is like the Godzilla. Yeah, the big. Yeah. You have the red one, right, Rich? Or do you have both?
Yeah. So they'll expect probably 4 or 5 variants of that King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did with the Godzilla. And
You
then
know-
I just saw Attack Peter just announced or revealed, I think it was at WonderCon, another Lino cut Godzilla. A little bit more on the stylized
That's the one. Okay.
side.
Yes. That's
You
the
know,
one
it's-
that's going to match with the Mechagodzilla because he said that it'll scale with that Mechagodzilla.
Mm.
So
You know, it's
I'll
funny.
grab
Like
that.
we never talk about this company anymore, and everywhere else I go, no one shuts up about it. Is anyone still following what Super 7 is doing?
Yeah.
Because they're
No,
putting out
really.
so much shit, but like we don't talk about it. But everywhere else I
Yeah.
go, oh my god, more
They produce a lot of
reactions.
stuff,
Well,
I think.
I'm gonna spit some facts. The problem is, I don't want to say the problem is that you see everybody that's talking about it is an affiliate with Super 7. So they're
Yeah.
getting free shit
Yeah.
to make videos. So
Yep.
you know,
got it.
so you
They're
know who's
influencers
doing it.
get free shit. That's exactly right, dude.
But there's
yeah.
a lot of people like I see that like try to get all the reactions. Like they go to the targets, they like it's nuts. Like there are some people who are obsessed with these toys, and I
like those. I like those little. What are they,
but there's
reactions?
so many of them. There's
I don't
so
like
many
it. I don't like them
variants.
I don't like them for $20.
Yeah, I think
though.
there's some of them are 25, 24. I bought
because they-
the minus
do
one. I
blind
actually started
boxes.
FYE. They had the minus one, which is actually pretty solid. It was like $22. I'm like, oh fuck it, why not? Right, I'm there. But I'm not gonna go to every Target looking for this shit. There's no way.
Because they do them all in blind boxes now, like in Target, and like people are trying to get all of this stuff, and just like
It's just too much. It's just too much money for something that small. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's
if they were
off.
$9.99, I would probably collect the ones I want. Like I bought the Megalon and the Godzilla shaking hands. That
that was
exclusive
cool.
set. Yeah,
That
and
was
that's super cool. And that was worth the money. But like I
skeleton
don't know,
one
man.
too, the 54, that little diorama one. That's a cool set. I snapped. Oh, it's not a set,
I gotta say, to his credit, the guy who's in charge of this stuff
Brian.
is a huge, like vintage and like classic Godzilla toy fan, and you see that in some of these toys. He's done pink Hawaiian reaction headers, like Flesh Gorosaurus. Flesh Godzilla Marasan reactions. It's pretty nuts. Like the tributes he's paying to this stuff, but there's so much of it.
Yeah.
Their articulated stuff. Like I'm 100% done with that line.
The Ultimates.
Those are expensive for they are too.
Yeah, and they're not really all that well done. Like I'll keep the ones I have. I have the Biollante and the Godzilla 89, and I have the Destroyer and the melting. And the melting. I had the Mechagodzilla and I sold it right after I reviewed it for my channel.
It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, and I mean I got back what I paid for it, and that's really all I wanted. So,
and they're doing Mothra and Batra adult figures too, but it's just you know, I mean, yeah, exactly. You know, there's only so much.
Cool, but not. I don't think they're worth the money. And then that new fun line. I'm like, okay, Funko Pops. What's fun about them? They look stupid as fuck, like little piggy banks. But okay.
Yeah, here you go. Somebody just mentioned the fun line right here. Arcado Collect.
Like,
he said it's literally just Funko Pops.
So sick of Funko Pops.
Yeah.
And then there's Haya. No one really talks about them. People seem to be excited about what they're doing, but they've been pre-order for like like 9 months to a year, and like nothing they've really announced has come out yet, and people are just like dumping money into pre-orders for those things, and nothing is out.
One. What was I think it was the legendary one that lights up. The spines light up. That was pretty cool, but it was like $50. I'm like, all right, fuck it, it's only $50.
But they got a ton of like Showa Millennium ones that are like none of them have come out yet. King Ghidorah 91.
I have the
GMK,
Ghidorah and the 91 pre-ordered, and
like nothing's out yet, and it's like they'll announce it. It's like, oh yeah, first quarter, like a year from now. It's like okay,
that 91 was supposed to be out. I feel like at least a couple of months ago. I'll have to check my Big Bad Toy Store.
I think they're like announcing way too much that's just not out yet.
Yeah, well, we're helping manufacture. That's why it's so far out.
Godzilla, Gojirasaurus, dude, that's funny because if you watch any of my reviews of the Ultimates, that's like my biggest. I'm like, how can you make an articulated figure, but the jaw does like you have to pull the head off and put a different head on if you want his mouth to be open or closed. Like, who does that? The simplest thing to probably do. Like, it's just so strange to me. You have to pull the heads off to, you know, to make them It's just crazy. So
Monster Arts keeps chugging along.
I don't know how they're
New
limited.
Valve.
yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
the Legion?
No.
Yep.
Oh, I bet that'll.
It's like that looks amazing. The damn thing was
Yeah.
almost $500 though.
Yeah,
but
it's the most
Woo!
expensive.
Really? That's so
More
crazy.
money.
We-
Violante was $220 when it originally came out retail price. So if Legion's $500,
Yeah.
that's more money than the X Plus was.
Yeah.
well, you have to engineer it, and this one can turn into like the flying version too, which you need like 1 billion stands for.
Oh,
Yep. I can't wait to see all the videos or posts about that thing being broken as shit.
Yeah.
Let's wait till they're doing a 72 King Ghidorah to go with Godzilla, Gigan, and Angulus. That's actually cool. If I could have afforded that, I would have bought that collection, but I'm not buying Monster Arts anymore.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a few early on when I reignited my collecting, and like for the price and stuff, like I don't know. I just think, doesn't do it for me. I know some people absolutely love them, and if you do, cool. I'm not gonna.
Everybody always asks at G-Fest, do you have one?
Yeah.
Do you have one? No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Okay.
And I love
I'm
building
surprised that-
dioramas and stuff too, but they would be perfect for diorama building. But I don't
I'm
know.
surprised they're still around after all these years. They're
Like
still pumping them out.
Yeah, it's like a price thing too. So, so yeah, like I said, last night Svengoolie did show Monster Zero dubbed, which is my preferred way of watching it because the dub is great. And that, so I figure we can toss it to the audience too. But like just comfort kaiju movies. I think us four will probably mostly be in agreement. Because it's gonna be. I feel like with a lot of people, nostalgia is a hell of a thing. And the stuff that you grew up with is the stuff you love. So depending on when you were born and when you started watching these, but to me, like the 70s Godzilla movies are always my go-to. Even though I know they're not the best Godzilla movies.
Who cares?
But if I'm just gonna turn my brain off, and a lot of times I'll do like the two Mechagodzilla movies back to back. Or Gigan is another one. Hedorah has become one. Pretty much all the 70s ones. And also though, and I know I'm probably in the minority here, but I really prefer the original dubbed versions, not the subtitled versions. Which is weird. And I actually have all the dubbed versions saved digitally on a hard drive that I can just stream from whenever I want. So, but yeah, like, what about you guys? Like, what? Another one of my comfort ones, before I forget, which is really weird, is Latitude Zero.
Oh yeah,
which is such a. Have you guys seen that movie? It's so fucking weird.
I have the old Media Blasters DVD.
Yeah, it's dude, I wish I had it on DVD. I only have it saved to a hard drive. It is
because it's got like 3 different versions on that disc.
So weird, man, and it's got Cesar Romero in it.
It's got the Japanese cast speaking in English and their own voices. Like Akira Takarada is talking in English.
Yeah, speaks in English in it, and his English is not great. God love the guy, but yeah.
Well, you know what happened with that film, Brian? It was supposed to be a co-production the same way like King Kong Escapes was, and the company that was co-funding it went bankrupt in the middle of it, and Toho had to foot the bill for like all the effects, and that's why a lot of those creatures.
And some of those creatures are so strange. Yeah, like the monsters look like giant, like plush stuffed animals in it.
I mean, it's more. I enjoy it more because it looks like that, though. If it was more technically proficient, I don't think I'd enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
I like how cheap parts of it is.
Yeah. What about you guys, though? And then we got a lot of comments from the audience we can get into.
Okay, well, I'll go then because, honestly, up until the end of the year, it was the Godzilla channel was my comfort thing.
Oh,
I had everything I liked.
HBO Max has them all.
When I was sick over the weekend because I had the flu twice in the past 2 months. Well, who would have expected that? I put HBO Max on. I watched a bunch of Godzilla, but if I want to, I'm getting out of the box, and I know Brian will appreciate this. When I'm really just like I need comfort, or if I'm not feeling good, I tend to turn on not Godzilla but Mystery Science Theater.
Oh yeah, that's my.
But then I will 9 times out of 10 I'll go right to the Gamera movies.
Yeah,
and like the Pluto Mystery Science Theater channel shows the Gamera movies constantly. and I have that app, the Gizmoplex, where you can pick any Mystery Science Theater movie. I tend to go to the Gamera one, so I get the best of both worlds, the Gamera films and Mystery Science Theater. Those have become my comfort films.
Yeah.
And obviously the 70s Godzilla is just like Brian. Destroy All Monsters, Hedorah, Terror of Mechagodzilla, and the Gamera stuff too. So those are my comfort.
Yeah. The Mystery Science Theater, dude, I put that on. I know I told you guys in the chat. Like I put that on every night when I get in bed. And usually like in the middle of the night I'll wake up and turn it off. But that is like every night I watch Mystery Science Theater. I don't know. I don't even know if I pay that much attention to it. It's just on, you know what I mean? So
if I'm bored and no one else is around, I usually just put on the channel. I have
just have it on. Yeah, just have it on,
and I don't care what they're playing.
Yeah. What about you guys, Rich, Nev?
Comfort movie, I'm gonna go with probably number one would be Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, dubbed version 2. That one I could lay on the couch, put it on, close my eyes, hear the movie, and still see it. As I'm just relaxing. I love the dub. Just closing my eyes right now, I hear the beginning of the movie with the science team and them all on top of the roof talking about the heat wave and aliens coming and whatnot. The sound effects, that's just all screams nostalgia. So that one definitely sits for my comfort movie. Probably Mothra versus Godzilla next.
Yeah. You're right about the closing your eyes and listening to the dub. Because you can just fall asleep to it almost, and you're like in that half asleep, half awake zone.
I'm very nostalgic to the dub for that one, but
yeah,
it still drives me crazy though, because they butchered so much of like the score. So like I'm really half and half with it. I'm nostalgic, but if I want to like really, really watch the movie, I'll turn on the Japanese version because I want to see all the Akira Ifukube score. So I'm so half and half on it. I get where Rich is coming from though, with just the dubbing and all of that. Yeah. But it's like I'm so conflicted with it because they changed so much about it.
Yeah.
It's not different enough like King Kong versus Godzilla is different. It's not different enough, but just little bits of what they changed drive me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that movie, it's pretty chopped up compared to the Japanese version. Like that King Kong versus Godzilla and the original are probably the 3 biggest Showa movies with as far as changes go. Maybe Godzilla Raids Again, just because of the nonstop narration that's in it and all the stock footage.
Varan all beat.
Oh, and Varan, it's really bad. Nev, what about you when you're kicked back with the hams?
Probably say Hedorah for sure. Godzilla's Revenge or All Monsters Attack. I think that's another one where you could just sit there and just zone out, drool. But I usually just turn on like Ultraman or Kamen Rider if I know I'm gonna fall asleep. I'll just put on like those and just zonk out.
Yeah. All right.
I gotta watch the Ultra. I mean, I have all the Showa Ultraman Blu-ray sets, but I have to really like sit down and watch them. They're hard to marathon because it's like 50 some odd episodes. And
it's a lot, man.
While I was out of work, I was like, I want to marathon the entire Showa Ultra series. I have the time. I got about midway through Ultra Q, and I'm like, I can't marathon this stuff. I can watch and enjoy individual episodes, but it's hard to marathon.
Yeah, Ultra Q is really good, but that's when you actually have to watch because the episodes are like really good.
Yeah,
I fly through.
I did Ultra Q. I was during the winter during football season. I was I would watch an episode every Sunday. It's a cool show.
It's a great series.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I find Ultra 7 doesn't do it for me though.
No.
Amazon Prime now has a Ultraman channel, so make sure you check that out on the Amazon Prime.
How does that work? Is that just a straight streaming channel?
I gotta check because honestly, like in the past month, I've been watching Ultra 7, periodically. So, but that was before that they made the announcement. Was just this past week. So I gotta jump on and check it out. So it's pretty cool that Ultraman's getting some,
I didn't know Amazon did like streaming channels. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was just like watch stuff on demand.
They had the Tokusatsu Shoutsu channel on Pluto, but that got shut down. Yeah, that had lots of Ultraman on it.
Yeah,
some of them are still up. I think or are they all gone?
I don't know, like around the time the Godzilla channel got shut down, so did a bunch of other channels, and I think one was Tokusatsu.
I mean, I think
sucks.
Tokusatsu's still on YouTube though, so you can always, if you have the YouTube app on your TV or whatever, you can watch it through that because that's just through Shout anyway. Shout has like a million different, Shout has a Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mystery Science Theater, I mean there's like at least 6 different Mystery Science Theater streaming. Like Tubi has it, Roku has it, Pluto
Even
has
Amazon Prime has.
Yeah,
them
like
on, too.
it's crazy.
I mean,
yeah.
but you don't even have to pay for the Gizmoplex library, and that has
Yeah, I
every
mean,
single
yeah,
episode
there's-
on demand
Yeah.
with no commercials. So I've been using.
My
that
problem with the
most.
Gizmoplex library is that it doesn't have the ability to just randomize the episodes.
Well,
Like
that's true.
if I could just go to that app and just hit play random, I would use it all the time. But I don't necessarily want to watch everything in
No,
order.
I
You know
get
what I mean? So
I get it.
yeah. So, but yeah, we got some comments here. So Leslie Chambers, Godzilla versus Gigan. Yeah, man, I agree with you. For a long time, I would have listed that probably as my favorite Godzilla movie, even though I know, just like you said, it's not good. It's not good, but that being good doesn't equate to it being your favorite. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and then we
It's
got
that conversation with the
another-
MonsterVerse and -1 isn't constantly coming up as like favorites and
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
I know they're new and everyone loves them. Nice to talk about the older films.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another vote for Gigan. And we got Extra Monster and GMK from Cole.
Oh, GMK is a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, GMK is
Absolutely.
good. Yeah. Here's one that really you don't get here a lot about, but Space.
I
Amoeba.
love Space Amoeba.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is a fun movie.
yeah, it is good.
That's
Y'all.
like a mix of like the 60s era films and the 70s extra camp all in one.
Yeah.
The movie's
Yep.
trying so hard to be serious, but the monsters look so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta watch it now.
Yeah. It does. It like straddles the line between right as the series went from we're doing real sci-fi here with monsters in it to we're just doing outlandish shit.
Goofy 70s.
You know what I love?
Yeah.
What I love about it is Ifukube is doing one of his most like dramatic scores, but then you have this goofy Gizora walking around, and it's like,
Yeah.
Shuffling.
but this is not gelling at all. But that's why I love it.
It's awesome.
Godzilla versus Sea Monster. I fully agree with that, especially if you can find the original dub, not the dub that Toho
Yeah.
made them use on the Kraken release. If you can actually find that, I guess is it AIP that did the original dub?
Wasn't AIP, but it
Titra?
was Titra, which AIP did use.
Yeah,
AIP
which
didn't
is
release Sea Monster.
yeah, which that dub is the original dub is really good, and like a lot of the original dubs are really well done. They don't have that anime, like 90s
Like the
anime
Heisei film.
dub. Yeah, yeah. Where like anytime it's a kid, it's just a if it's like a young boy, it's just it's an old woman doing a young boy voice. You know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
or
Goku.
Caucasian
Yeah,
dubbers trying
yeah.
to get Japanese accents. We get
Yeah,
that's a lot of there's a lot of that in the 60s.
Yeah,
Which I can kind of see how some people may have a problem with that now, but I guess back then no one saw that as being a problem.
but honestly, I mean, if they had Japanese actors dubbing those movies, that's probably how they. Yeah, I mean that's
yeah, it's,
I mean,
well, yeah, if that's the way you
Yeah.
speak, you can't.
Yeah.
You're not faking that.
yeah, exactly. Like it's me trying to do a British accent if I was dubbing, if I was dubbing like Snatch or
Oh,
something like
why?
that. Yeah. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla show Space Godzilla. Now, see, Space Godzilla is not one that I would have put in there, but hey, like I said, I'm not going to yuck your
I want to
yum.
be punished.
Yeah.
Same with Godzilla. Godzilla 2000 is one of my absolute bottoms.
And I'm opposite.
I
you. I
never
love
got the
Godzilla
appeal of it.
2000.
I never.
I think
got
I
it.
don't.
it's
I don't
funny.
mind that when it's bad.
Yeah, I like Godzilla 2000. GMK I like a lot until King Ghidorah comes back to life 27 times.
I have
Then
to be in
I
just
feel
the
like
right mood.
I feel like it just drags near the end.
Yeah.
Where
I
I'm
have
just
to be in just the right mood for GMK. I think parts of it a little bit too mean, personally, but
and that's one that when Pluto would show it, I would turn it right off because I
No.
hate that. I hate that dub. Hate it. We got. Oh yeah, see there you go. The Last Dinosaur. Yeah, the Last Dinosaur is a classic.
Yep.
that's another one that has this scary, dramatic score, and then this goofy rubber T-Rex stomping around.
And the Triceratops, that's obviously two people in one suit, which is like a horse costume. You would get it for like a costume party and wear with like your wife or something. Compliments for me, the Fukuda movies and some of the Heisei. Yeah, dude. I mean, like I said, the 70s Godzilla is like peak comfort to me. Here's a good one, and it says, "Oh, I got a good one." Frankenstein versus War the Gargantuas. Yeah, love both of those.
King Kong Escapes.
Yep. King Kong Escapes is another one, even though that Kong suit is an abomination. But yeah, I love that.
Better than the other one from King Kong versus Godzilla. This one at least can emote. I mean, he looks like Homer Simpson, but at least he has a personality.
Yeah. I think Svengoolie just did War of the Gargantuas maybe like a month or so ago. That one gets a fairly regular rotation on
which dub do they use? Because I know the Godzilla channel was showing an export dub where Russ Tamblin's voice was dubbed by somebody else, which it was really hard to watch. I think
they used, I don't know which one they used, to be honest. I thought isn't his voice dubbed in all the versions?
Toho has been forcing like a weird export version where it's not his voice.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Let's see. Godzilla Man 2000, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla show. Oh wait, we did that one already.
Yeah.
God.
I can't watch Space Godzilla. I mean,
get out. Don't
forget your Super 7 stuff.
Big surprise there. Godzilla versus Biollante. Or Tokyo
SOS. Yeah, that's a comfort one for me. I do love SOS. Biollante, I do love, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's a comfort one for me though.
Yeah,
I watched
SOS is.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like Ultraman, like we were saying, the original Ultraman I love. Ultra Q is great.
I want to watch again the Ultraman Mega Monster Battle movie, the one that has like all the monsters in it. The first one with Belial. Yeah. That's what really got me into Ultraman in the first place, and I haven't seen that one in a while, but that's a good one.
Return of Ultraman's good. So is 80.
Yep.
Actually, that's the one I've been watching too.
I like Ace.
Ace is all right. Then the one I can't stand is Leo.
So that's the one I haven't seen all the way through. That one and 80 are the two I haven't watched.
80's really good, but Leo's a chore to get through. Or Leo or Toro? I forgot which one it is.
No, it's Taro. Oh. Leo is actually pretty violent and much more adult. Taro's very childish.
I think that's
I had a hard time with Taro.
Yeah.
There you go. And this guy's right. It was a lot of those dubbed voices are by Paul Frees, who I think also did Speed Racer, if I'm not mistaken.
Paul Frees was he was Doctor Who, right? In King Kong Escapes, not Doctor Who.
He was Doctor Who.
Yeah, no, I'm in King Kong Escapes.
Yeah, he may have been,
right?
Yeah, he's been in he's done a ton of voices.
Doing the Burgermeister Burger voice.
Yeah. And then Big Ken, Mothra versus Godzilla. Yeah, and that is a good dub. Although it does have that goofy line where he's like, "Can I ask just one question?" And he's like, "You have one question." He's like, "Do you think the egg will explode?" Like, that's your question.
That's one where the voices sound very Japanese.
Yeah.
And they keep calling Mothra either the Thing or Moldra.
The Thing.
How do you?
Mothra. That's how my grandfather used to say it. Mothra. Kill Mothra right away.
Yeah.
Call Mothra. Even in Ghidorah, they said Mothra. It almost sound like.
And then we got a question. Why haven't you guys streamed for so long?
Life.
Yeah, life. No, I mean, I can't speak for Rich. And Rich, you've been doing a pretty decent amount of stuff. Lately, I don't know, man. I just burn out, I think, honestly.
You know what? After the last one we did, Rich went to Japan, then the holidays started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, winter, no one wants to do anything. And I wouldn't have wanted to anyway after losing my job. This is the first time I feel like I want to get on one of these and actually chat. So for me, I get it. But like, it just, that 5 months was like just surreal. But yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. I don't want to get too inside baseball, but like the process of like making a video, and then editing a video, and then after all that, still having to deal with YouTube's algorithm and its bullshit. Like to me, I'm just like, dude,
YouTube
like
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, as we
yeah.
stream on YouTube, but like, I don't know, man. I've been focusing more on doing my podcast, which is not Godzilla centric, but it is nostalgia centric. And that's just like, it probably ultimately is more work to put the podcast together as far as like from a note taking standpoint than it is to make a YouTube video. But like I put it out into the world and then I'm done with it. And I feel like with
Ryan,
YouTube,
when
like,
you do the podcast, do you edit it like just to tighten it up, or you just let it flow, let it fly the way it was?
for the most part, it flows. I'll edit some things
Because that
but,
takes time too, having to edit
Yeah.
it. I know a lot of podcasts, they edit every pause, they tighten things, and that's gotta take hours.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, because of the way I want the podcast to be, which is just like it's just some guys talking, and it should feel like you're in the room talking with the guys. Like, I don't really, unless it's something that we really get in the weeds about. Like, we did an episode where Dutch was going on and on about something Godzilla related, and I was like, I have to tighten this up. Like, it's fine for like this if we're talking about Godzilla, but when we're just doing like a pop culture, general type thing. But with that, I just put it out and I'm done. Like, I don't have to, I post it once on Facebook and then I'm done. But I feel like with YouTube, you need to be like, let me go post it on my Instagram. Let me go post it on this.
Yeah.
Let me go post it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Let me
sure
go
it's
do
a
this
lot
here.
more work if you do like
Yeah.
actual videos where you edit in
Yeah.
clips of stuff. and-
Yeah, exactly. So,
That
because
takes
like
some-
I've been intending to do a review of this guy, and maybe I will one night this week. But every night when I'm like, should I go do that now? I'm like, I'll just,
The struggle
So
is real.
it's more getting motivation. Like,
Yeah.
I prefer doing stuff like this, honestly. So I mean, this I would happily like. I feel like this people enjoy this, so I feel like we should just keep this going and maybe do some cocktail ones as well, especially in the summer.
Yes.
And maybe try to do like one or two of these a month, and
Well, we
go
can
from
go
there.
back. We can go back to trying to theme them if you want to do. If you want to go
Yeah, we
back
can
to
theme it. We can theme them
'cause
occasionally, or we
if
can just.
we were more productive when we actually had a list of themes, and then but life gets in the way. You never know when something's
Yeah, exactly. So, what about you, Ray? I mean, you're back in the saddle, but just from knowing you for as long as I've known you, you've gone stretches where you haven't done anything for 3-4 months.
Oh yeah. I actually sat last night after I got home from work. I watched my recent collection video. But as I was scrolling through my videos, I like went back like to the last years, and I only did like a handful of videos between 2022, 2023. But it goes back to the motivation part. I was really struggling with the motivation. I get home from work and I plop, and I don't get home until 11 o'clock at night. My weekends, I only have limited time clearly to do things throughout the week, so that's where I get shit done on the weekends. But I really tried to light a fire under my ass the past 6 months or so. With catching up on X Plus reviews, which I believe I'm done. The Sofubi reviews, but I still have a couple to do from Summer Wonderfest. And now I started this Bandai marathon that I'm really looking like. I'm only 2 episodes in. I got to work on one this weekend for Rodan. So I'm literally going through every Toho movie with the corresponding Bandai figures that I own. And I'm just gonna roll with it.
Rodan's not going to take too long.
No,
At
no,
least,
but
at least.
in the chat, Rado, he actually sent some information on. He has like one of the prototypes. What do you call them? The test figures.
Somehow, Rich,
Oh.
that guy has a prototype for everything.
Yeah,
Like the more he
yeah.
posts, the more I'm like, where? Because he
Yeah.
messages me a lot, showing me stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, how do you have all? I mean, I have a
Yeah.
couple of like
That's
really great Bandai types that like I have Biolante and Baragon, and those are some heavy hitters. But he shows me stuff. It's like, how do you have this stuff, man?
Yep. Yes, I'm excited to do that. What I'm calling the Bandai marathon. And like you said, Rodan will be easy. Then next will be the Mysterians, Varan.
Aaron.
But until we start getting into the 60s films, I'm literally going to pull every Bandai figure that I have that goes with that movie. So I can't wait to do Final Wars because that's going to be silly. This will all be filled up. Yeah. But I'm excited to do that. It's other than just doing reviews. Doing this is fun. Somebody said it kind of at the start. Are we going to get back to doing this? And I'm down. So it's really, I think we just got to schedule it and do it. But other than that, I did the collection videos. If you haven't seen that, everybody that's watching, people were asking for like fucking, I think like, a lot years. New collection video. So I did that about a month ago, and it's still not the way I wanted to do it, but it's done. But that was fun. It's kind of, my own version of Fresh Vinyl Cribs. I was just down in North Carolina with Wesley Chambers. We did a Fresh Vinyl Cribs with him, and that was fun. Brian, I think you were the first one that we did. So
it's so funny
that's 4
now.
What's that?
It's funny watching that now because my room it looks nothing like that anymore. It's so funny.
Yeah, I think that was 2015, 10 years ago. So
Wow.
Any opportunity I get, to get with somebody within our friends or fandom, that's always a blast. But other than that, back to the algorithm. It's a pain in the ass with YouTube. My channel got fucked. Literally got fucked by YouTube. Some years ago, when in 2020 they did this whole FTC thing with child content, and my channel got flagged as made for kids. And what it did is it turned notifications off for all of my subscribers, and it royally fucked my channel, because now anytime I post a video, if you don't fix it, you're not knowing I'm posting content. So I found a fix is that you have to unsubscribe from my channel, refresh your app, or close the app, or refresh the web page. Then you could resubscribe and enable notifications. It's a fucking drag because I have 11,400 subscribers. Because I've got comments like, "Oh, I didn't even know you were posting videos again." I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!"
You really have to play to YouTube's algorithm.
I can say
to get
fuck
noticed
all I
these
want.
days.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me. Like,
that's not made for kids. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
You have to have
kids.
clickbait thumbnails and stuff, Rich. Like Fresh Vinyl fails with a picture of a crying Minya. That'll get the kids to pay attention. Yeah.
Well, they also now really want you to do shorts, right?
Yeah.
And what am I going to do a short on? In a minute? What are you going to learn in a minute?
I use the shorts for art process videos, but to have an actual live stream like this, you can't.
Yeah. Even
I follow a lot of Nintendo channels, and a lot of them are just like I said, clickbait titles of all sorts of nonsense. It's nothing is sincere. Everything's bold text, Mario game was a failure with a crying Mario in the corner, and that's what YouTube wants you to do to get people to pay attention. You can't be sincere on YouTube anymore.
I could do a video. I'll do a review of this guy, and I'll make my thumbnail me
you have to do
you got to click things
like that.
Yeah, and it'll say worst figure ever with a question mark, and then at the end I'll be like, this is definitely not the worst figure ever.
Yeah,
but you have to do it to get people to pay attention.
Yeah, it's just clickbaity bullshit, and and everybody, on Reddit, I'm in YouTube creator groups and whatever, and they're like, oh, if you want to up your subscribers, just do tons of shorts.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm not gonna do that.
And the problem is that you got TikTok and Instagram Reels that now cater to shorts, because the simple truth is that if they're short videos, you get more views, which gets more interaction, comments, likes, replay value, which activates the algorithm more or less. Yeah. So and people's attention span is total shit nowadays anyways, because of shorts. Everybody's just so used to doom scrolling. Next one. So if you don't get the attention in the first 10 seconds, bye.
But also, if you don't have enough views, say in the first hour or hour and a half to make YouTube happy, they just won't suggest your video anymore.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was pretty happy. I was maybe 10 videos in them doing my channel, and I was starting to get 800, 900, 1,200 views. Our -1 thing got 4,000 views, and then starting January of that next year, my next video got 110 views. Yep. I'm like, what the fuck did I didn't do anything different. You know what I mean? So it's just
views on YouTube at 9,000 views, and it was just one. It was of the Shimo Scar King garbage set.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do something on YouTube. I would have to learn how, because I don't know a lot of that stuff. But I'd love to do kind of what Rich is doing, or taking the things I used to write up and make them into videos. But I don't want to play by YouTube's rules, because that's not how I would want to do anything.
It's annoying.
That's not my style. If you've read what I've written, I'm not playing by YouTube's game, and I would never want to even learn to do that, because I don't want to do what they want to do, and no one would watch my stuff. Doesn't matter anyway because I
would
wouldn't
watch it.
but I wouldn't play by their game to get people to really pay attention to it. Like you guys would watch it, like 2 other people would watch it, and like it's just not worth my time. That's why I stick strictly to writing things. It's not the best way to get info out there, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm a middle-aged bald guy talking about Godzilla toys on the internet. Like, I don't know I don't know how much of an audience is built in there anyway.
Yeah.
But all right, that's enough inside baseball. We will keep doing this though, because like I said, these are popular and people do like it, and I like doing these honestly. Like,
yes,
thank
you for everybody that's here right now. Still.
Yeah, and I think like mixing it up and doing some like on a Friday evening and some on a Sunday morning or a Saturday evening or whatever. I think that's the way to go, especially in the summer. Like maybe I could set it up so I'm outside near my fire pit for like an evening. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. Big Ken, a succulent Chinese meal.
It just doesn't sound right together.
A succulent Chinese meal.
Let's really roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Big Ken knows what's up. Hang on.
Is the charge eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
What the fuck?
I didn't know that was from something.
Oh God, I'll have to send you that video, dude. That's a class. That is a
too, didn't he? He like just passed away.
He just died. We didn't do a whole episode of our podcast on him, but we did a nice segment of our podcast to that guy. That dude had an interesting life. Let's just put
it. Yeah, he was actually crazy.
Yeah. He had a crazy life. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for popping in. Thanks you guys for hanging out, and we're gonna do another one. We will do at least one in April. I promise you. If you don't see an announcement by like mid-April, just start sending nasty texts to one of us or all of us. And
hopefully
then
by the time we do it, the Dream 5 box will come out.
Yeah, or we can just talk about a movie. We can just pick a movie and talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so cool. Thanks everybody again, like I said, for hanging out, and we will see you next time. Wait, it's been a long time. I got to find my outro video. There it is. All right. See y'all next time.
Cheers.
Bam.
Cheers.
How about some coffee?
Coffee? I like coffee.